One of the frustrating things about education is that she said it does solve a lot of the other major problems that we're facing. But we all know what a good school looks like. Most of you have attended one. If you're here at any good college, you've probably been to a good school. So let's start with that, and that I'll open it to Wendy and to everybody about what are the common elements that you see over and over and over again that you're trying to replicate to create a high-performing school?
Yeah. See, I actually think, like, when I think back to what we knew about the answer to that question 20 years ago versus today, like, I actually think we don't know. Like, at least in the communities in which we're working. Like, so when you're, what kind of school is going to meet the extra needs of the kids growing up in our most economically disadvantaged communities? I don't think we knew how to describe what a great school would look like in that context 20 years ago. Today versus then, I mean, there was one school 20 years ago in Chicago that Marva Collins started that was a private school serving low-income kids, and it was taking these kids and sending them to great colleges, and people were writing books about it. And the whole analysis was that the principal was this charismatic hero, and the thought was that when she left, this school would just go away. Just like Jaime Escalante and the story of his classroom, people just assumed these two people were absolute outliers and that we wouldn't be able to replicate that success. Today, we know how to replicate that success. There are, I'm guessing, I mean, we could all debate the number, maybe 400 what I would call transformational schools in the highest need communities in our country. And every year, growing numbers of communities have growing numbers of whole schools that are taking kids whose background would suggest one set of outcomes and putting them on a completely different trajectory. So I have had the incredible privilege over the years of spending time in, I'm guessing, at least 100 of these schools. And I'll walk around in them and try to figure out, like, what is it that's going on here? And I have to say that I've discovered there's no magic at all to this. The most recent school that I was in that would fit this description was actually in Chicago, and I just told this story to some of the people coming in to Teach for America, but it's called the Noble Street High School in Chicago. They select kids based on the lottery, so they get ninth graders in Chicago who are on average at the sixth grade level. They move them forward in 4 years' time, 8 years of progress. And 90% plus of them graduate with an acceptance letter to a 4-year college. Now, this school is serving kids, 6% of whom, 14% will usually matriculate to college. So 90+% of them are matriculating to college. And so far, they've got a 90+ persistence rate in college, which is unheard of for kids from low-income communities, sadly. So this is a school that is truly transformational in terms of its outcomes. And I spent a couple hours walking around with the principal trying to figure out, is there anything different here happening than in all the other schools like this that I've been in? And I concluded once again that there is no magic. First and foremost, this school and the others like it have embraced a very different mission than most schools in America embrace. Most schools, most of the schools that many of us went to, view their role as putting learning opportunities in front of kids. And they sort of assume, some of the kids are really going to get it, and some will sort of get it, and others won't get it so much. But in more privileged communities, that's okay, because we've got enough safety nets going on with parents and communities, and folks are well enough off to throw resources at the issue. In the communities in which we're working, it's not good enough. So schools like Noble Street have said, you know what, our mission is to ensure that every one of our kids gains the academic skills and the character strength necessary to get to and through college. Now, this is an exceedingly ambitious goal. It's unheard of, right? In Chicago, 6% of the low-income kids are getting through college. So knowing that it's that ambitious, the leaders of these schools go after that goal with a level of energy and discipline, and using the same strategies, honestly, that great leaders use to accomplish really ambitious goals. They are absolutely obsessed with the team they build. They wake up and go to sleep and everything else around who they're recruiting to be on their teaching staffs and how they develop them over time. They work with those teams to build a powerful culture that aligns the kids, their parents, and the teachers all on the same mission. And then they just manage aggressively. They use data. They're obsessive about where the kids are, what more they need in order to get where they're trying to go, and they just do whatever it takes. So they realize, you know what, we need more time than we have, so they lengthen the school day. We need more services for kids. They partner with other organizations and bring in the support services. So I think what's encouraging about this is there's no magic. There's no magic. This is about a leader and a team who are embracing a personal mission to ensure their kids succeed and are just going to go at it until they reach that goal.